right, we're going to start a solo version of Agricola with, I will just explain rules as I go. Pretty simple worker placement game. You start with 2 workers and a wood house, and you go through the various 16 rounds of the game, and there are 6 stages in each round. At the end of each stage, you have a harvest phase in which you will go through a series of harvesting. So, beginning of the game, you're going to start with 7 occupations, and you're going to start with 7 minor improvements. And I drafted these sort of trying to mimic a 3-player game. And then there are certain spaces that fill up every round. If nothing gets used, they just continue filling until you select the items or choose that action. So this has 3 wood on it that get put on every round. 1 clay here, 1 reed here. A grain goes here, but it doesn't fill up. It just, if you go here, you get a grain. And then food in the fishing pond fills up here. So, Action 1, round 1. A lot of this game is about trying to get a little bit of an engine going. In a solo game, I have to feed each of my family members 3 food at the end of when I get to harvest. And if I was playing a 2 or 3 or 4 player game, it would be 2 food per family member, except in the case of the baby. They would cost me 1 food until they became an adult. So, I think for this first action, I think I want an occupation. The first occupation is free. Each additional one costs 1 food. So I'm going to get 1 occupation and put it there. So in this case, whenever I use the take 1 grain action space, I can also plow up to 1 field. All right. So for my second action this round, you can leave. I really want this reed because I want to build a basket soon. I want to get that invention going, and that does not take a ton to get going. But I also want grain in order to plow a field. So I think I am actually going to take grain that goes to my personal supply, and I can plow up to 1 field, which I will put here, mainly because there's another card in here where if my fields are orthogonally connected to my house, it will benefit me. So I want that to benefit me as much as possible. So that's my 2 actions. So then we go home, first part of that, and I don't have to feed anything because it's not the harvest phase. So all I do is I reveal the next card for that stage. This is not a refill, this is just putting that there, but I do add 3 wood to here. I add a clay to here, and I add a reed to here, and I add a food to here. So that's then, and now we have a new action where we can get 1 major or minor improvement. Now I could sow a field, but I really want to get, you sow a field, I really want to get this occupation on there. Because with this occupation, I can, whenever I sow a field, I can place 2 extra goods from the supply on it, on that field. Whenever I sow 2 fields, I can place 1 extra good from the supply on each, which is pretty handy. And that kind of stacks my sowing and grain and all that. So I don't want to sow yet. Tough choice. Major, I could also do a minor improvement. how many things take reeds? You need reeds to build or to upgrade. I'll need at least 2 reeds to upgrade. So, but if I'm going to use a reed for this, I kind of want this to build up to 3. I kind of want food. Is there anything else I could play here that's a regular? Well, I don't have all the equipment I need for the other things on here. And I need a food for the occupation. So the problem I have is I really don't want to, I want to make the most of stuff. So I think for one action, I'm going to go ahead and get another grain and plow a field. So I'll plow this field. Actually, I think I'm going to go here because I will build my house out that way if I can. And I'm not going to build more than 5. But these are both orthogonal to my house, which will be helpful. And I really want to get this guy out there, but he's going to cost me a food. So I think my second action will be to get 2 food. 2 field, 2 food. So now we're going to go home, get those guys back, and you can see this is pretty fast. So now we have a sheep. So we're going to put the sheep there. We're going to put more wood out here, put another clay, put another reed, put another food out here, and so I know I haven't taken that, put that there. So now I'm gonna have to have 6 food at the end of my thing here to feed my family. So that's kind of an issue. It's something I gotta figure out here. Might need to get a fireplace. Whew. And I don't have many actions to play with, so this is a tough choice. Once you have a stone house, chief's daughter, organic, made. I don't want that. Basket, action, use a person's action to take wood. Oh, this will give me food in exchange for stuff. So that's kind of handy. So, we need food. The thing is, I need, in order to build a fireplace to use my food, I gotta get stuff sown and planted. I really want to do this guy, so I think I am going to get the reeds, because that'll help me. Whenever you sow a field, place 2 extra goods from the supply on it. Grain. Well, right now, I don't even have a sow a field action available. So, so that's not even an option. So I wonder if that fieldsman is really... I'm not 100% sure this is the action I want to take. Because I really need to get food. And this basket is going to get me... Well, yeah, actually. The reason I do want to do that is because I want to make this minor improvement. One major or minor improvement. I go here, and that's going to cost me 1 reed. So that's why I want to do that. And then that's my 2 actions. So we fill this with another sheep. fill this with wood. We get another clay, another reed, and another food here. So I didn't use my food the way I thought I was going to use it, but I do have a basket. Whenever you use a person's action to take wood from an action space, you can leave 2 of the wood on the space and receive 3 food in exchange. And since we're going into this round, I now have the sow action, which is kind of nice. So if I sow wheat on both areas, then I would get up to a decent amount back. But I don't have that sow. Whenever you sow 2 fields, so sow and or break bread, I don't think I can sow. I don't think I can sow 2 fields. I need to get that. So I think one action is going to have to be to get all this wood. But I'm going to leave 2 wood on the action space. And for that, I get 3 food in exchange. So I can go here. And basically what I'm trying to do is make sure I get at least 6 food by the end of this round so that I don't have to get a beggar card. So I have 3 food for one person and 3 for another. And that's my wood action. And so I can get food here, I can get food here, but this will fill up more, whereas that will not. The grain's not going to help me. The sheep will run away because I'm not in position to do that. I think, I'll have to double check the rules, but I think if I sow, I could potentially turn something into food, but I think I have to have an oven to do it. So honestly, the clay, plow a field, take a crane, those are all good options, but what I really need more than anything else is just flat out food. And so I think my second action, I will go here, take 2 food, and put them here. And go there. And that will end that phase. So these guys come home, and now we have a harvest phase. So we take one marker from each food or vegetable field. I don't have any. We have to pay 3 food per family member. I've got 2 family members, so I'm going to have to pay 6 food to that. And if I had 2 of the same type of animal and 1 more, I would add 1 more as long as there is room. But I don't have any animals right now. So I've got a couple of fields sown. I've got my house there. That is round 1. So we're about to go into stage 2, first turn after that. So after family growth, I can also get a minor improvement. So let's see, I've got a couple of grain. We've got to add a sheep here. We have to add 3 more wood, 1 more clay, a reed, another food here, and then this one doesn't refill. I'm just putting it there so I don't forget. That goes there. And so now I want to get an oven, and I want to sell, get some food here. So we're going to have to do an occupation. We have to pay 1 food for a second occupation. So now we had a fieldsman and a field watchman. So whenever I sow one field, I place 2 extra goods from the supply on it. And by goods, I would assume that any goods are options. And when we sow, I think we can put 1 on each field that we have. We have 2 fields and I have 2 grains, so theoretically I can put any goods onto my field. 2 extra goods from the supply. So we could assume probably that is similar to what we have and in addition to what they would normally be. But I also have this, that whenever you sow, each of the fields you sow that is orthogonally adjacent to a room in your home gets an additional 2 grain or 1 vegetable. Well, this is a planter's box. It doesn't cost me anything to play, but it is a minor improvement. All I need is 2 occupations, which I have. And so if I do that and go there, now I have I'm starting to get a decent engine going here. Alright, so now we have stone. So we'll put the stone there. We've got tons of sheep. We've got wood building up like crazy and some clay, which we'll need for the oven, and we've got that. We've got some food here. There's 4 food right there, so that's helpful to me if I can get to it. So now we're definitely going to sow. And sowing, we're going to go here and make sure I do this right. When you sow, each of the fields you sow that is orthogonally adjacent to a room in your home will get an additional 2 grain or 1 vegetable. So they are orthogonally adjacent. I am going to get an additional 1 vegetable for each of those fields. And whenever you sow 1 field, place 2 extra goods from the supply on it. Whenever you sow 2 fields, place 1 extra good from the supply on it. Well, I am going to place, I think, 2 extra goods from the supply on it. Well, 1 on each. So basically I got way more food, and that's just in addition to sowing. Since I sowed the grain, I add 2 more grain and 2 more grain because the vegetables I added were in addition to the normal sow action. So that's fantastic. Gets me a good amount of stuff there that I needed. And now I desperately need an oven so that I can turn my food into stuff. So in order to do the oven, we're going to have to get clay so we can build an oven next round. So there's clay. Then my actions come back and we start adding. We're going to turn over this after a renovation. 1 plus that to clay, or 1 plus that for stone room, and you get a major improvement. Okay, so first we have to add some things to these. We are getting pretty full on the wood there. Get some reeds, get some food. Now, I have lots of food there, but I can also turn my vegetables into food pretty easily, and 1 sow action will give me a ton of veggies. I can get a ton of food in just this next turn as long as I have an oven. So that's exactly kind of what I want to do, is make sure I get a major improvement. Now we want a major improvement. Well, this will give me, if I renovate, I can get a major or minor improvement, but I need stone to really renovate, and I want to get my wooden hut up to a clay hut quickly, so that renovation does not cost as much. That's my goal. So I don't want to do that. A fence wouldn't hurt. I could fence and get some animals, but my food is where I'm really keeping pace with the rounds, and I found a way to get food so I can avoid those beggar cards. So I think what we want to do is get that oven, and we're gonna pay 2 clay, and we're gonna get a fireplace. So that's my major improvement. Now I could upgrade to a cooking hearth if I could do this, but I don't necessarily. I kind of want to get this other guy out to do that. However, what's going to give me the most options? Sowing a field. I don't have empty fields. Person's action to take 1 wood from action space. I could get 3 food by getting wood, which I don't necessarily need the food, but it does help me stack up for later, and I could use it. So I think, the other option is to play this. Once during the game, when you use either the plow 1 field or plow 1 field and or sow action, you can plow 3 fields instead of 1. This could get us in the realm of getting more food down the road. That's pretty good for that. Or I could get lots of wood to build stables now to put animals in later. And get 3 food now. I feel like this is my most efficient action. Is to get a ton of wood here, like so. 1 second, Elijah. I'll be out in just a second. And I do that, and then that gives me my 3 food, and then I'll finish up this round because we're doing harvest, and I'll do that when I come back. All right, here we are, round 3? I think I just wrapped up around. I haven't gotten stone the whole game, so I didn't add things to this. So we'll add things. I did just find out that the light ones are actually clay, and the dark ones are wood. So, but I'm going to stick with what I've done here so far, for the sake of ease. I don't remember how I got reed. This only piles off 1 a game. I must have put too many on there at some point. I'm pretty sure. Well, oh, they stack up every time. They stack up every time. Why doesn't stone have more? Maybe I haven't been stacking the stone up because stone. Well, oh, because stone was just revealed. That's right. It was only recently revealed. That's why it doesn't have as many. Okay. All right. So round stage 3. We only get 2 turns now. Oh, I forgot to feed my family. And one of the things that I did wrong was I should have cooked vegetables. I should have gotten my fireplace and then done that first, and then done the vegetable thing. So I would have just reversed how I did that to some degree, because when I got these things, one, I couldn't put things on a field the way I did here. I would have just cooked these vegetables as I got them. And so in this case, I would have gotten 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 food from the multipliers. And So let's go ahead and get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we'll pay 6, which ends up being pretty good. I fed my family, and right now I have enough to feed my family for this round, at this harvest. So I didn't have to go after food, particularly this round, which is nice. And I would get one of each of these in here. Never used the bake bread action. So I did not bake bread. I think some of this would have been lost actually. So I had like a bunch of these. I think like at least 4 of these would have been lost because I can only convert vegetables. I cannot just convert. I have to use a bake bread action. So I'm thinking like a bunch of this is lost. So I actually don't have as much food as I thought. Because I could make this, but I have to take the bake bread action in order to. Well, when I sewed and or baked bread. So when I sewed, I could have baked bread, and I could have gotten all of those things. So that was actually possible. All right, and because I would have had the oven, that would have been good. Okay, so I do have the food actually. My bad. All right, got that figured out. And now we need. Figure out what we're going to do. Now, I am going to want to build. I could take a grain and plow field. Let's see, what do we have? We have, whenever you sow, each of the fields that you sow, that is orthogonally adjacent to a room. Okay, we have that. Do we have a thing that improves our plowing? In our sow action, you can plow 3 fields instead of 1. Well, that's pretty good. And we have that. So we have a turn rest plow and the swing plow. Twice during the game, when you use the plow 1 field action, you can plow 3 fields instead of 1. This one's once during the game. So 3 wood, this costs 3 occupations. This is only once during the game. Okay, feeding phase, and 4 food. Okay. The field phase of a harvest. Each player can use the watermill to convert it to 1 grain to 3 food. Each player that uses the watermill must give you 1 of the food. Okay. That cost a lot to build though. And we need a certain amount of stone to convert our house to stone. So that's a thing as well. Probably we'll get some animals eventually and we'll want to build. I do want to get this guy out for an occupation. So I think we want to really work toward the stone house. I think that's kind of a thing we want to do. Because we have our food for this round. I'm not worried about food. And okay. So wood hut to stone house, that first meeting renovate it to clay. That's pretty handy. Once you have a stone house, so we need an occupation, and we can actually. is there one that gives us an occupation? No, we're going to have to just get the occupation and pay the food so that we can build to a stone house. Don't need the vegetable per se. Okay. Once you have a stone house, all right. So the question is, what do we really need to build? We need to get more. We need stone, but not yet. So I don't want to have to take that action twice. I'd rather let it build up and then take the action. Yeah. This is a tough choice. Let's see. We could renovate, but we don't want to do that yet. That'll give us major or minor improvement as well. Now I wonder if, well, we can build stables when we do that. I wonder if it'd be better to go ahead and get some fences. Because we're not going to need wood to build, we're going to need the other things. So let's go ahead and build fences. And it's 1 wood per fence. So let's see, let's get some fence. We're going to do, there we go. Alright, let's build 1, 2, I'm not sure how much we're going to build here. 3, I'll probably build some stables later. 4, 5, got tons of wood here, so not too worried about the wood. Do I do that? Got a lot of sheep. 6. Let's see. Let's go 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that's gonna need, that'll get me, I could get 2 kinds of animals in there if they can breed, which would not be bad. I kind of want wood for a barn later. We would like not to have to get wood. We'd like to expand our house. This is a tough choice. Do I use this wood to potentially do another barn, or do I build with it? For 3, 4, well, if I did 4 more, 1, 2, 3, 4, that will give me a good number of areas to put my animals in. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go that route. And, alright. Did we even put 3 wood in there last time? I'm not sure we did. I'm going to do it. So I did that, and now I go home, and we fill things up. Alright. So, 3 wood, a clay, a lead, and a food. sure. All right. And then we'll go this round, and we get a wild boar. Nice. All right. Now, I'm gonna have to feed my family after this, which I will be able to do. Oh, we're not harvesting yet, so don't have to worry about that. And bread. Wow. This is rough. Okay, I don't want to take any rain. Take wood from the action space, leave 2 of the wood and 3 food. So that's a way to get food, but I don't need food. I was just sort of set up. Additional 2 green or 1 vegetable. You can renovate your wood hut. So we're up to 4 stone there, but we need 5. So we're not going to renovate yet. I could, once you have a stone house, start around, you can always either pay 1 food to play an occupation card or play an improvement card by paying its cost. So there is some benefit to that. And I might need to get wood again so that I can do the turn rest, the turn plow, and build stables when I build my rooms. And I want the scholar. So if I want to get more fields before I sow, really. So let's go get wood, and we'll take all but 2 so that we can get 3 food. 1, 2, 3. And let's see. Maybe taking one of those off. Forgot points at the end of the game, how that works with the grain vegetables. I'll have to planted and harvested grain and vegetables. Okay. All right. I think I am gonna go ahead and get the scholar, which will cost me 1 food. And then that way, when I have a stone house at the start of the round, I can always do those things. So, and then I have the cost I need from the wood to then pay for another option there. So I think I'm set up pretty well. It's the end of the round, it's harvest, so first we have to take 1 marker from each grain and vegetable field, so I will do that. And then 3 for each family member, so we'll get 6 food, pay that. These guys come home. Alright. And we don't have any animals, so we don't have to worry about that. And then we're going to add animals. Boom, boom, boom. We get 3 wood, clay, reed, and we'll add a food here. There we go. stage. So now the cattle is added. Now I can upgrade to a stone house. Now that's to build rooms. This is renovate. So renovate doesn't require the same amount. That's for building rooms on the house. May have miscalculated that. Huh. 1 plus. Okay. I wonder if I should actually. Well, I don't have enough to read, and I would have to take reads to do it. So I think the most efficient thing is to get these stone, and then I want to be able to renovate. So if we do that, and then we renovate, so we have to pay 1 reed plus 2 stone per room, because we have the conservator. We can upgrade these right away to 2 stone. And now we have stone rooms. So after we renovate, we can also do 1 major or minor improvement. Well, I'm going to pay 3 wood and get the turn rest plow, I think. I have enough occupations. I could do the swing plow. I think the swing plow might be better, because I could potentially fill things up that I wouldn't otherwise fill. It's twice during the game when I use the plow 1 field action. I can plow 3 fields instead of 1. Okay, and it can't be used with the plow 1 field sow action. Alright, so I think that's my 2 things. My improvement. We'll come home. We have to flip a card. Oh, and now we have stone in 2 places. And a couple of cows. We get a boar. We get a sheep. We get wood, clay, and food. Well, let's read and food. Okay. All right, and then we just revealed that. So, now I'm going to have to get food. I've got plenty to do that food there. And once at the beginning, start of a round, I can always pay a food to play an occupation card or play an improvement card paying its costs. Let's see what we got here. Slaughterhouse. That's not going to help me because I don't have that. During the feeding phase of the harvest, you can use the schnapps distillery to convert at most 1 vegetable into 4 food. Each of your 5th and 6th vegetables. This is potentially a lot of points. I have to pay a carrot and 2 and the food for the cost in the card, but I think that is worth it to get the schnapps distillery. chief's daughter 2. Okay. All right. So we've got some good upgrades here. That's a bonus deal at the beginning of the round. Okay. I think we want to use our turn plow. When you take the plow 1 field action, you can plow 3 fields instead of 1. So let's do 1, 2, 3. Gives us 3 fields. Nice. All right. So that'll do that. Now, I need food. So I'm going to have to sow and or bake bread. So I think I am going to sow. Got plenty to sow here. Now I'm going to bake bread first. I'm going to bake that for 2 food. That's going to be my first action. And then this is the tricky part. I'm going to sow. It's and or bake bread. So let's assume I can do both. All right. I got these things that stack. So let's see, when you sow, each of your fields you sow that is orthogonally adjacent to a room gets an additional 2 grain or 1 vegetable. So normally that goes there, and then it will get an additional 2 grain or 1 vegetable because of the planter box. Whenever you sow 1 field, place 2 extra goods from the supply on it. Doesn't have to be, doesn't matter. It just says 2 extra goods. So let's just put 2 carrots on it. Whenever you sow 2 field, 1 extra good on each. Okay. And I think that's it. Now, I can turn any of this into food immediately, which that is what, 2, 4, 6, which is all that I need food-wise. 5, 6. And since I sowed, I can also bake some bread. So I'm going to bake there's going to be 6 more. I'm going to bake this bread too to get 6 more, assuming I can do it interchangeably here, because that covers me for a couple of rounds. And I don't, of course, have anything. Okay. And that's my last turn. So then I come home, and I have to so I come home, I've got to feed my family, actually get to harvest the field, 1 from each field, so I get those, and then I pay for stuff, and 2 of the same type of animal, but I don't have any animals. Alright, so then we'll go here, we turn that over, we can grow a family even without space. We're going to get stone, boars, sheep, wood, clay, reed, and a food in the fish pond. Okay. Fantastic. All right. Do some. All right. That's my getting ready for the work day. All right. Wow. So now it's the beginning of my turn again, and I have a stone house, so I can pay 1 for the chief's daughter. Now I'll get 3 bonus points for having a stone house at the end of the game, which is nice. All right. Now this is basically only have 3 turns left, so this is going to be tight. Oh, during the feeding phase of the harvest, I can convert 1 vegetable into 4 food. But I didn't have a vegetable to convert, so I only had grain, so it wouldn't have mattered. So what am I trying to accomplish before the end of the game here? That's the thing. I could certainly use more actions. What do I have? I've got 3, 6. I've almost got enough food. I want to get animals. I definitely need another family member. But then if I get a family member, I'm going to need food. So I think I am going to get a family member. I can't use them yet. And then I'm going to sow fields. Or bake bread. So we are going to bake this bread. Well, I don't think I can just take that off of there. It just occurred to me that I might have to actually have the grain. I don't know if I can convert grain directly from my field. I might have to look that up in the rules. I might be cheating on that. But if I sow those fields, then I will get that. And I didn't sow any fields next to the house. And I placed 2 extra goods from the supply on the field I sow. Oh, well, 1 on one and 1 on the other. We'll do it that way. Okay? So we'll do that. And that's all my actions. So these guys come home. We're going to go into this round. We're going to get a cow, add a pig, add a sheep, and we are going to have to feed our family after this round, but that will not be much of an issue, I don't believe. Now, I need to build stables. That is an absolute must. So we don't even have really an option there. Yeah, we're going to have tons of animals. So let's build stables first. We don't have enough for that, but we do have plenty of wood. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that will give us 3 stables. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Which is pretty handy. I think I'm going to go ahead and build a 4th stable here. Alright. And then I'm going to have plenty of food, I think. I want to make sure I have this going into the last round. Oh, I didn't have to pay. I only had to pay 1 for the baby last time, and I paid extra for it. So I'm going to do that. Oh, I didn't pay for it. Just kidding. Let's see. Plow 1 field and or sow. Well, I'm going to need animals. So I'm going to get all these sheep. So we can fit 4 in here. And we can fit 4 in here. It doubles the size of the whole thing. And then we're going to get these sheep, which we're going to slaughter right away for 6 food. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then that's our last action. So then everybody comes home. And we'll do that. And we take 1 marker from each field. We'll do that. And 2 food. We have to pay 3 per family member. So 3, 6, 9, and 1 was a baby. So 10. 10 food, which we had plenty of. That was nice. Could have baked bread or anything if I needed to. And then we're going to add, we have sheep, so they are going to produce a sheep, and we have a place for it because we can put it in the house as a pet. We can do that. We've got 3 wood to add there, clay, and this, and all right. So now we're on last round. After a renovation, we can add fences and stuff. We don't really need that. So now we're really just making do with what we got. And I'm going to get some pigs. We're definitely doing that. I am going to go get some cows. Definitely going to do that. And now we have 2 other actions. Now I can sow a field, plow 1 field and sow. But you can't use it with the swing plow, which I kind of want to do. I thought there was one whenever I plow a field, I can get another one, but alright. Well, I think we want to, got tons of food there. Could get that food actually. I don't remember if I added one there. I think we want to sow and bake bread. So if we sow, I'm going to do that, which is going to give me one each. Each of the fields that you sow orthogonally adjacent to a room in your house gets an additional 2 grain or 1 vegetable. So we're going to give it 1 additional vegetable. Nothing else gets sown. That's fine. We could bake bread, which would give us, I'm going to get 5 vegetables. So I'll bake 2 bread for 1, 2, 3, 4 food. Those guys are going to produce. They're going to produce. I'm not really worried about these guys, so I will sacrifice them for 4 more food. 1, 2, 3, 4. Should be 3, 6, 9, 12. I forgot at the beginning of the round. I might have wanted to do a thing. Is there anything that was going to be beneficial? That's the question. And that I could pay for. None of those were going to be terribly great. Each pasture that contains, but it could contain at least 3 more animals than it does. So I would have had 3 pastures, and so if I can make it contain, but then that would cost me more points. I don't think that's going to be worth it. It makes up a few points, but doesn't help a ton, so I'm not going to pay the food for that. One vegetable. Okay. All right. So we have 1 more. We have enough food for everybody, so we're good there. So it's really, we can just plow a field. We could plow a field and sow. That's not a bad idea. Let's do it. Let's plow a field and sow, which will give us this, and it's orthogonally adjacent to the house. So we'll get that. All right, and then I think that's all my actions. So harvest time, we do the harvest. I gain 1 from each field. So we'll do that. And we have to pay 3 food per family member because it's a single player game. So we'll do that. And we also can take these off so that we can score on this side at the end of this round. Whoops. Okay. Let's see what I got. What are we missing? We fed, and if you have at least 2 of the same type of animal, add 1 more as long as there is room. There is room. I'll put an animal there. There is room. Put 1 there. There is room. Put 1 there. So there we go. That's that. And so let's count our score. So do we have any empty fields? None. How many fields do we have? We have 5. So we get 4 points for that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 pasture spaces, so we get 4 points for that. That's 8 points. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 grain. So 9, 10, that's 12 points. I have more than 4 carrots. 16 points. I have 6 cattle. We're at 16, 17, 18, we're at 19. 7 pigs, 20, 21, 22, 23. Oh, wait, no, I had 8 sheep. So 24, 5, 6, 7, 20. So I'm at 20. I'm at 28. It was sheep, not cattle. So I'm at 28. Each family member is worth 3, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. So I have 40 with family members. 41, 42, 43 for each fenced-in barn, stable. So 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. So that's at 47. And then the outright points on the cards, 48, 49, 50. And then the Chief's Daughter gives me 3 for Stone House, 51, 52, 53. And at the end of the game, a bonus point for my 5th and 6th vegetable, 54, 55. I think that's it. 55. So 55 points was my final score. Not too bad. I felt that I did a lot better that game. May have cheated a little bit here and there. I am not 100% sure. So if you saw me cheat or miss something completely, I think I might have missed on the baking of bread. I might have done that from my field without realizing at the time that I was doing that. Then feel free to put that in the comments, or if you have played Agricola before and you're pretty familiar with the rules and you're like, oh, you clearly missed this, put that in the comments, because I am still learning this game. This belongs to my friend, so we'll probably get to play it at some point, but it's pretty fun. This was more fun than I thought it would be. I watched playthrough before, but never. It's pretty interesting that the different cards, the minor improvements and the occupations, are different every game, which is what makes this a little bit intriguing and a lot more variegated than I would have thought it would have been from game to game. So thank you for watching with Unraveled Gaming, and this is Agricola. Have a great day.